I felt and heard this cloud say, "This is perfect." And somehow I knew the cloud was referring to me. I am so not perfect. I am not all that. And they said, "Oh, you don't understand how this works. See, you are designed with your skills, abilities, talents, interests, preferences, as well as your faults, your foibles, your hot buttons, your issues, your challenges. And we put all of that together to create exactly what is needed right now. You are perfect because of your imperfections." Hi, I'm Elaine Starling, and I was blessed in New Year's Day 2005 to have a stroke. And I always say blessed because during my stroke, I got to have a conversation with my higher power. I got a complete download about how everything works, why we're alive, what we can do to live our best life, and what happens next after this life. It's a graduation, it's not an ending, it's really nothing to worry about. But the story actually starts about a month before my stroke. It was on my birthday in early December, and I was really struggling with a company that I owned. I just couldn't figure out how to restructure what I was doing so that I could enjoy my work again. And it was really frustrating. It was getting more difficult and more time consuming and less profitable, and I just couldn't figure it out. And I told my husband, "You know what? I am so blessed in so many areas of my life. I feel guilty for wanting more. I can't figure out how to change things. So I'm just going to stop thrashing. I'm just going to deal with the status quo and allow myself to feel blessed exactly as things are." Well, a month later, we're on vacation in New Zealand. We're on the South Island, and it's New Year's Day. We're in Queenstown. We've had breakfast. We're walking around the town. There are a few little shops that are open. And all of a sudden, I get tunnel vision with little sparkles around the outside of my vision. And my balance gets kind of wonky. So my husband takes me over to a park bench and has me sit down. And then my right arm went numb and the right side of my face went numb. And those are both classic symptoms that you're having a stroke. So he walked me to a medical center. They didn't even have a hospital at that time in Queenstown. So they walked me to a medical center, and the person there gave me an aspirin. And then they asked me to describe a poster on the wall, and I knew exactly what they meant, and I knew exactly what it was. But the words that came out of my mouth made no sense. Now, through this whole experience, I felt great. I felt awesome. I felt like it was a lazy Saturday morning, and I just wanted to roll over and go back to sleep and hit the snooze alarm. And so finally, I asked, "Is it okay if I just relax and take a nap?" And they said, "Sure, go ahead." As soon as I relaxed, I found myself inside this massive cloud. And this cloud was part of me, and I was part of it. And I felt and heard this cloud say, "This is perfect." And somehow I knew the cloud was referring to me. I am so not perfect. And so I said, "Are you kidding me? I don't speak multiple languages. I haven't solved world hunger. I am not all that." And they said, "Oh, you don't understand how this works. See, you are designed with your skills, abilities, talents, interests, preferences, as well as your faults, your foibles, your hot buttons, your issues, your challenges. And we put all of that together to create exactly what is needed right now. You are perfect because of your imperfections." And I had this massive, "Whoa, Toto, we are not in Kansas anymore" kind of moment. And I'm like, this is weird, but it's really cool. It's interesting. I'm fascinated. So I started asking all these different questions just in my mind, and immediately the answer would come back in my body, 360 degrees, past, present, future, colors we can't see, sounds we can't hear, beyond human comprehension. It was like swallowing Google whole with every single answer, all the likes, all the shares, all the keywords, all the videos, all the pictures, all the everything, all at one time. And it was so freaking cool. And after a while, I'm really having fun with this conversation with the divine. And I notice other entities that are going by, and I see other spiritual masters. And, I don't want to leave this conversation that I'm having with the divine. I don't want to get distracted from this. So I do, the little head dip kind of thing. Hey, Jesus, nice to see you, but I'm busy here. Oh, Buddha, great. Hey, and Muhammad, nice, good. All the angels, all the ancestors. Yeah, got to keep with this conversation. After a while, I didn't really have another question right away. And I felt and heard the divine say, "Are you sure you're done?" And I said, "Oh no, we're halfway through our vacation in New Zealand. It is freaking awesome. We love this place. You should really check it out." "Oh, right, you probably know all about it." And he said, No, that's not what we mean. You said you were done thrashing. You said you were done trying to figure it out. If you're sure you're done, we can use that ectoplasm for something else. Are you sure you're done? Well, I was having a lot of fun, but I also had a deep inner knowing that I was very close to something important. And if I chose to not go back to my physical being, I would have had to start all over again to get back to where I was at that moment. So I said, no, I'm not done. And I heard, great, get back and get busy. And I came out of the stroke with absolutely no damage. That was my experience. It was beautiful. It was remarkable. And it was also, it's interesting. People talk a lot about trauma, and they usually refer to it in negative terms. Well, there is such a thing as positive trauma, where something is so wonderful, but so far outside your human comprehension that it kind of freaks you out for a while. And so I went through some of that before I got enough courage to start talking openly about my experience and all of the messages that keep coming through to this day. I get divine downloads all the time, and they're wonderful. I didn't tell anybody about my experience, not even my husband, for 3 years after it happened. I was so blown away. I came out of the stroke with no damage, and I'm like, what just happened? That can't possibly be real. Surely I was making that up. That had to be my brain having a little whatever while I was in my stroke. But I kept getting divine messages. Things keep coming through. It opened a portal that allows me to really connect with the divine and get these divine downloads. And that's how I knew. It's like, okay, I'm not the person I was before. I received so many really beautiful downloads. And one of the most important ones was when the divine asked me a rhetorical question during our conversation. They said, okay, everything is love. You are love. The air you're breathing is love. The chair you're sitting in is love. The God of your understanding is love. Everything is love. So, how do you create more love when everything already is love? I was stumped. I had no idea. And they said, well, we decided to create human beings who do not think that everything is love. And because of that, you experience duality, the difference between what is wanted and what is not wanted. And that contrast creates a friction that gives you the superpower of choice. You either choose to step backwards in fear and try to stay safe with all the things that you already know and understand, or you step forward with grateful curiosity and love, looking for the blessings that are present for you. Every time you bravely choose to step forward in grateful curiosity and love, you expand love. You expand the divine. You expand the God of your understanding. Being physical is incredibly powerful. It is the expansion joint of the divine. You've been physical many times in the past, and you will be physical many times in the future, because this is the rock star place to be. It is so cool that you get to come here and through your journey, expand the divine. Now, we don't make it easy on you. We deliberately give you all kinds of experiences that throw you out of alignment. You go into your human self with judgment and criticism. And then you notice that you're out of alignment with the divine. You're not in a state of love and grateful curiosity. And you use the tools that you have learned. It could be meditation. It could be any of the tools that you know to get back into alignment. And that's being out of alignment and coming back in that is the important part. That's the part that expands the divine. It's not totally being in alignment all the time. We don't want you to do that. We want you to be in alignment, go out of alignment, realize you're out of alignment, and come back in. It's the coming back in that really grows the divine and grows you. There are many different tools that you can use to create your alignment. One of my absolute favorite ones, maybe you'll do this with me, it's to take 3 long, slow, deep breaths together. You can do this on your own too. And as we breathe in through the nose, think the words, I am. And as we breathe out through the mouth, think the word consciousness. Let's do that together right now. Breathe in, I am. Breathe out, consciousness. Breathe in, I am. Breathe out, consciousness. Breathe in, I am. Breathe out, consciousness. And as we rest for a moment here, in this beautiful space of infinite divine grace, you can feel how deeply loved and cherished you are by the God of your understanding. You can feel yourself floating joyously in an ocean of love, an infinite ocean of love, guiding you, encouraging you, supporting you to more and more love, to discover the beauty within. Take another deep breath in. And when you're ready, open your eyes and come back into the room. It's incredibly powerful, and it's beautiful because it unites our energy so that your energy with my energy, with everyone who listens to this conversation, as well as the God of our understanding, all of that energy is permanently connected, not just during this conversation or for the day, but through lifetimes. This is a permanent connection. So anytime you're feeling a little off or a little bit out of alignment, you can remember that you're part of my 216,360,600 people, because the cool thing is, even when you're not feeling it, somebody out there is, and somebody in that network is in a great space. Somebody's feeling aligned. Somebody is upbeat. Somebody's looking at the world with gratitude. And so just knowing that, you can step into an incredibly powerful human state that I call grateful curiosity. You don't have to have the answers. How wonderful that the mysteries, the magic of life is unfolding for you in perfect divine timing. You don't control anyone but yourself. And the best way to influence others is to be a good role model. When I first came back out of my stroke, I was really curious about how do I have this incredible experience again? How do I do this? And I got all kinds of research and did all this studying and took all these courses and all this stuff, really trying to understand my experience so that I could explain it clearly. And it was amazing what happened. But the key thing is you only control you. And whatever you believe is true for you, only for you, not for anybody else, only for you. You have more power than you realize. You are a miniature expression of the divine, and you are very capable of sending love and blessings out to everyone on this planet. And remember that whatever you give out is what you receive back. So do bless. You are a blessing and you are blessed, so you can bless. So bless your food, bless your water, bless other people, bless the traffic, bless everything, because it's all there guiding you to love. My website is theabundancejourney.com, and you can find me on social media, Elaine Starling or Elaine Abundance. Yeah, those are the two handles I use.